Today, I have the pleasure to welcome in the studio Serge Linckels, who is Managing Director of the Digital Learning Hub. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure. I invited you because, I like to talk about AI, cybersecurity, anything related to tech. So could you please present the Digital Learning Hub in a few words?
Yeah, with pleasure, Jérôme. So the Digital Learning Hub is a public training institute for adults. We exist now for 3.5 years, and we help the companies to train their people, if it's now really the beginners or if it's more the advanced. So we have a lot of trainings, a huge training offer, and that's to help the companies in the digital transformation here in Luxembourg.
Okay, and how many, I would say, pillars do you have in your offer?
Indeed, we have in our offer, we have 4 pillars, if I may summarize. We have, first of all, we have modular trainings, short-term trainings. I call it like Lego bricks, where you can say, well, I take a Python 1 training and I take a cybersecurity advanced training and I say take something with GDPR AI Act and so forth. So you can assemble your training track, let's call it like that. The second offer is we have a very cool school, which is called 42, a coding school. 3, we will start, and this is not really a world premiere because our minister announced it already, but in April we will open 3 new academies in AI data, in quantum computing and in cybersecurity. And 4th, last but not least, we run the Elements of AI program here in Luxembourg, which is a national program to demystify a little bit AI.
Very good. Just to give us some ideas, how many people signed up to one of your trainings?
Well, we exist now since November 2022, and since then we had 12,000 registrations already, so I guess we have some impact and we could help a lot of people.
And to give an idea to entrepreneurs and employees, how much is a module? I'm sure the cybersecurity is very, very, very popular. How much do you pay for a module in average?
Yeah, so our trainings, most of them are sold out because we have small groups, like classroom sizes, 20 people, something like that, to have really hands-on training, which differentiates us from our neighbors, our colleagues from the University of Luxembourg, which have an academic training and we have a professionalized, in English you would call it a vocational training track. So we have more smaller classes, and about the price, the number is 4. It costs €4 per training hour.
€4 per training hour, and the cybersecurity curriculum is how many hours?
Well, you have all the modules, so we have 655 training models last year in 2025, and most of them are between 3 hours and say 20 hours. So it depends a little bit. If you have like a introduction to GDPR, it can be done in 3 hours. But if you have a Python 1 training, it might take 20, even a little bit more hours, and then you can add the next.
So 20 hours, €80.
Yep.
Okay, that's quite attractive for sure.
It is.
I have, of course, a question. You remember 10 years ago exactly, our Prime Minister from that time, Xavier Bettel, announced that Luxembourg was a tech nation. We could argue about it. Some things have been done really, really well. We do have champions here, tech champions. Some things maybe have not been done perfectly well. What is your analysis 10 years after, 2026? How do you analyze the tech nation of Luxembourg today?
Yeah. So I love to give that answer, Jérôme, but it's my personal opinion, which I share here, not on behalf of some ministries. Also, we are Ministry of Education, so we are a public school. For me, it was such a cool decade. I guess both of us, we were very young, we are still young, and so we witnessed all this evolution. It was the big change of AI coming, the big change of tablet computers, the social media, and there were so many hypes, so many changes in technology. And I think it was a very bold initiative 10 years ago to change Luxembourg in some IT country. And now recently the government launched the 3 national strategies on AI/data, on quantum and on cybersecurity. By the way, it matches fully our academies. So I think Luxembourg is very close to become a red dot on the world map on being something very important in the IT sector. So it's for me, it's a fantastic time.
That's good. One of the things I regret is I think we have severe difficulties in honoring our heroes. I have some in mind. You know, we are specialists of awards. I've seen some lists with 100 startups. There are some really established champions. I have in mind Tokeny, I have in mind Stocker, I have in mind Emma. There are champions, but they're completely lost in hundreds of startups. I think the official number is 822 startups on the official website of the Ministry of Economy. And I think this is missing because if I take Israel as an example, I interviewed Avishai Avrahami, the CEO of Wix, and he told me that what is needed to make a startup nation is heroes, so that people can identify themselves to the heroes and invest the time, the money, or the effort to try and make it also. So let's look into the future. Where do you see now Luxembourg, tech-wise, in 5 or 10 years?
Well, that's a very complicated question because I have, of course, not that crystal ball. But if you have a look, 3 years ago, how ChatGPT, that product, changed nearly overnight the whole world. It just took 7 days, I guess, to have 100,000 users, which is the well premium. We never had a technology that had such a big impact in such a short amount of time. So if now we look ahead a couple of years only, I mean, AI, of course, that's the buzzword. It will change so much. Recently, Statec in Luxembourg announced that 90% of the companies already have use AI. What will this make for the economy? That's one question. But for me, it's very interesting to look in the future and to imagine how this will impact the people. How will we act today? We are sitting here in live, in person. Will this still be the case? What will be the social impact of all these huge technology changes? And so it's going to be a very interesting time.
For sure. So we'll stay in touch. I'm fully with you. I mean, we know that our number one driver of the economy right now is still finance. 80% of all corporate taxes come from finance. And we know it's a lot of middle office, back office in funds. And this could be very, very well reinvented. But at the same time, we've seen new champions like G-Core, which are fully in the AI business. And this could trigger, of course, new verticals, attract new huge companies and create new jobs. So yeah, I think nobody knows what's coming, but we will surely try to be active in building the future. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jérôme.